This is lesson 20, and we're going to be discussing more about loops. Let me type in lesson 20 here. It's a nested loop continuation. So we discussed the for loops last time that you watched a video. So this time we are going to talk about the while and the do while loops. For the loop that we did last time, we had this short little program and it created the asterisks across the screen. Remember that? Now I'm not going to run this so you can see it, but you remember, like, it started with 1 asterisk, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, etc. The next video creates a box out of asterisks. So we're going to try to create a box down the screen, you know, so many stars across and so many stars down the screen to form a box. So we initialize our variables and declare them. So we have integer a equals 1. So integer a means we're declaring it. A equals 1 is where we initialize it. And of course we have integer b, and we also initialize that to 1. Then we start our external do, and if you follow this dotted line down, while. So this is the while that goes with this do, okay? And then this is do, and this is while. So these two go together. So this is our external loop, and what it does, it counts up the lines of output, you know, 1 line, 2 line, going down the screen. The internal loop creates the stars that go across, so it creates the row of stars, okay? So we're saying we want 10 stars to go across the screen, and then down here we say we want 10 lines. Okay, so let me run this real quick and show you what it looks like when it runs. Okay, so we have 10 stars across, 10 stars down. And if I were to change this to like 5, this is the external, no, this is the internal, so we'd only have 5 stars going across. So if I build that and then run it, when it's done, there we go, and then run it. See, we only have 5 stars across, we still have our 10 rows going down. So I've got it set up so that this internal loop goes and then it does 1 line, then internal loop, second line, internal loop, then the external loop does the 3rd line, internal loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, external loop, 4th line, internal loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, external loop, 5th line, etc. Okay? Here is where we reset A to 1 every time we exit this while loop, okay, so that it'll start counting over at 1 again. Okay, so what if I change this back to 10, where it was, and I change the number of external or lines that are printed to 5? Let's build it, and then let's run it. There we go. So now we have 10 stars going across, but only 5 lines. So this is very good to help you understand how these nested loops act and what they do, okay? So I'm going to comment out this one. This is the do while. So we do and then while. The special thing you need to remember about do while is it always implements at least 1 time, because you do the work, you do what's inside these curly braces, and then you check it. So this will happen at least 1 time before you check. Okay, so let me comment this out and go down here and comment the bottom part of it. And now I'm going to show you the while loop doing the same thing. We're going to create the same image with asterisks that we just did, only now we're not going to use do while, we're going to just use while. So this is our external loop. This controls our output on the lines, how many lines we're going to do. And this one is my internal loop that controls how many stars I'm going to make, okay? I'm going to build, and then I'm going to run it, and there we go, same image. Okay, and likewise, if I change these values, this will change how many lines I create on my output, and this will change how many stars I have on my output. It's just how I wrote the program, right? This just happens to be how I wrote it. So it gives you, though, an idea about it works the same way as do while, except the while, the check, happens before you print a star, okay? So this do while would print the star and then check. This one, it checks to see if it's true and then prints the star. That's the only difference. So you would do one line. This says start with line 1. And this says create 10 stars. Okay, there's the measurer right here. And then this goes out, adds 1 to B. Now we're on the second line. And we reset A to 1 so that we can count our stars again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because we say 10 here. If we want to make it different, I can make it a 5, a 2, a 7, whatever I want. And then out, this would be line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Okay? All right, so loops have a starting point, ending point, and a means for reaching the ending point. Okay, so you have to have some way that you check, and when you do your check, it ends up false, and false exits the loop. Of the 3 loops, the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop, the do while is fundamentally different from the other 2 loops. It evaluates the exit condition at the end of the loop instead of at the beginning. Therefore, it will always execute at least once. So do while always executes at least once. The other loops, the for and while loop, have their exit condition at the beginning of the loop, so they may never execute at all if it starts out as false. All right, that's the end of this lesson, and I hope it was helpful. And keep studying. We are getting very close to the end of this semester. So I know you can do this. Hang in there.